Hello and welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I'm Big GATAH. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now, we are covering the ATP 250 Winston-Salem round 2. So pop in the comments. Let me see what you guys are playing for tomorrow. And keep your eyes peeled for my pinned comment to see what I'll be playing as well. Don't forget, if you do like the breakdowns of these matches, please give this video a like. It goes a super long way for me. And if you would like to get my picks as soon as I upload, which is super helpful for you, you can subscribe. It is the soonest way to get my picks. It is the best way to do so. If you are feeling generous for any wins you get on the channel, we do get quite a few. There's a link in my pinned comment if you'd like to donate, as well as a link to my Discord if you'd like to join that as well. It's a free Discord, so get yourself involved in the community. It's a bunch of good people in there talking about plays. We got a bunch of other picks going around as well. But get involved, please do. Love you all. With that being said, we'll be looking like today. Straight sweeps, somehow, with the way things went today. In the final for Alcaraz and Sinner, we saw an unfathomable outcome, but I think it is safe to say that Cincinnati is cursed, and we need to be on the lookout for that next year. So keep your eyes peeled and remind me if I forget how crazy it was here, because nothing was right. 5-0 retirement, something is off there. We know that. So hopefully he's good for the U.S. Open. Wishing him the best. Congrats to Carlos Alcaraz for the win. You deserved it. You played some good tennis today and yesterday and the day before. You've been playing some great tennis, so congrats to you. We also took, in Winston-Salem, our boy, Big Basavareddy, to get the win. He got it in straight sets. And we took Kamil Maifchuk, who was certified smoke level, but we took him as a regular leg. And bang, we got him. The plus 166, 2.66 hits for everybody. Bang, cash that, all that good stuff. So let's get into round 2, where we have quite a few things to go through today. So let's not hold up any further. And we'll start with our very first match. It's going to be Martin Fucsovics going against Talon Griekspoor. And would you believe me if I told you that Fucsovics has been beating Griekspoor on every surface, every year? It's only right that this year he beats him again on the hard court. He beat him last year in Bucharest on the clay, the year before in Wimbledon, and the year before that in 2022 in Rotterdam in the indoor hard courts. So he's one surface away from trumping him on everything. We've been seeing a pretty bad Griekspoor recently. He's on a 3-match losing streak, losing to Echeverry, Medjedovic, and Young in the process. Starting with that losing streak starting on the clay. Third time's a charm for Griekspoor? Who knows? Fucsovics did go against Gaston, who is not much of a person to get by. But that was his first match back on the hard court. Looked pretty decent. Safe to say that he should at least get a set against Griekspoor here. I wouldn't go all the way out and say... I know Griekspoor's in bad shape, but he's hard to count out still. Right? He's only 8-6 so far this season. But he's got a 65% win rate on the hard courts. Excuse me. Fucsovics is 11-3 this season with a 57% win rate. So, Fucsovics also is 33-16 this season. Griekspoor is 28-17. So, one more loss and 5 less wins. Fucsovics is playing better. And he is the underdog here. This is a good spot for him. I think if you're feeling risky, definitely go for this dog today. It's plus 105, 2.05 on the decimal for those outside of America. I'm not mad at that at all, but we'll move on. Our next match is going to be Roberto Bautista Agut going against Christopher O'Connell. And this will be the second head-to-head between them. Bautista Agut losing in 3 sets in Doha 2 years ago to O'Connell. But still ranked 24 ranks above him, ranked 53. O'Connell being 77. Bautista Agut's only 3-7 so far this season, but he was playing pretty strong out in Cincinnati. His 2 wins out of his 3 were against Cam Norrie and Daniel Altmaier in straight sets. Lost to Ben Shelton, which was still impressive. He went to a tiebreak with Ben, so I'm quite impressed. Christopher O'Connell beat Roman Safiullin. I think he's in for a rude awakening going against the old Bautista Agut. I like him tomorrow as well. His money line's minus 175. Not bad at all. Good price. I know people are thinking like, yeah, the reps are clearly there. But we got that walkover that Munar had against O'Connell in Toronto, and that made me a little bit weary. And then we see that he was okay going against Safiullin. But is it going to be enough to beat Bautista Agut? If you feel too shaky about it, you can still take him for a set. Bautista Agut is minus 475. Not worth much. Might as well just take the cojones and go for him on that one. And then next we have Giovanni and Mpetshi Perricard going against Pedro Martinez. And man, oh man, what can we say about Gio nowadays, man? This is going to be their first head-to-head. They've never played each other before. We know Pedro to be literally just this person out here that people can come get their hardcore wins on. Seemingly easily. And then he beat Nicholas Jerry in 3 sets, but got stomped out by Tommy Paul, who ended up losing to Manarino. And then we have Goffin, who lost to him today in straights. He's only 4-8 on the hard courts this season, but Giovanni is 6-8 this season. It's not that much better. It's 2 more wins. Pedro does have 7 more losses this season than him, but that's because he plays in the clay a lot more. Those 6 extra losses were literally just on the clay. So I would stay away from this match. Gio should win in straight sets, but I don't want to touch it. Maybe take him for some aces for sure. Definitely some aces. If you can find an ace market that's up already, that'd be the thing to take. Other than that, I wouldn't take him for anything else. Minus break points if I could. And move right along. And who's a favorite for that match even? Let me see. Gio's minus 215 to win. Him winning in straight sets is plus 125. Good luck to anyone who plays it. It's like taking Opelka in straight sets in the first round. It's one of those type of guys. So it's a coin flip. Unless it's a perfect storm matchup, I usually tend to stay away from these guys nowadays because they haven't been giving us the consistent results that we look for betting. So we'll carry on. And next we have Darwin Blanch going against Blanc. I think it's Blanc. Darwin Blanc going against Alexander Muller. And what did I tell you guys? Hey. I said that Darwin Blanc kid, it looked like Ben Shelton, played like Ben Shelton. Ended up beating Bonacortic in straight sets, 6-4, 7-6. Who saw that coming? And then we have him going against Muller, who lost to Brooksby in 3 sets. Now, that's going to be a level that I can't imagine this 17-year-old to get to just yet. I think Cottage being his first main draw win is definitely a big accomplishment for the 17-year-old. But I'm sad to say that I do think it may get stopped here. Muller isn't the absolute best on the hard courts this season, but he hasn't been bad either. Not bad enough to lose to a 17-year-old. He's 10-8 on the season so far, 21-21 across all surfaces. He's got a 61% win rate on the hard court. He lost to Brooksby, Holger Rune, and Mutet so far. Only beating Kecmanovic and Bebit. Zukayev back in DC. Couldn't beat Sarundalo. Beat Sakamoto. Couldn't beat Kovacevic. But he beat McCabe. So he's always beating people that he very well should be beating. And he's losing to the people that he very well should be losing to. That's kind of the way it's looking here. When he's the favorite, he seemingly should be doing his job. When he isn't the favorite, he seemingly does his job as well by not being the favorite. So, I think Muller wins the match, unfortunately. Do we get a set from the kid? Maybe. Maybe we get a set from Blanch. I'm rooting for him. Hopefully we see more of him. But yeah, I do think that Muller does take this one. We'll be happy to see if he doesn't, but if I would have to guess, I would guess that Muller wins. But we can move right along. We have Kecmanovic going against Kovacevic. And these two have played each other twice before. Earlier this year in Miami. Every match they've played has gone 6-4 on the hard courts. This will be their third hard court matchup. So they're 100% for sets going over 9.5 games in either set. So if you wanted to bet a correct score, 6-4. Which one will it be? Kovacevic lost the last time they played each other on American soil, mind you. It was in Miami. This isn't the Masters, though. Kecmanovic, he could lose this one. I don't know how far Kovacevic thinks he's going to be getting in the U.S. Open this year, but he's going to be going for it. So is Kecmanovic. So I don't know how much of a fuck these guys are going to be really giving about winning, because they're really just trying to get their footing down for the Open coming up. But Kecmanovic lost to Ethan Quinn in straights, Muller in 3 in Toronto and in Cincinnati. And then Kovacevic beat Misalic in straight sets, 2 tie breaks, and lost to Medjedovic, Boyer, and Tiafo on the hard court so far, but did make it to the final in Los Cabos. So we did see some good form from him, but he kind of dropped, and I think we're searching for it still. Seemingly got a sprinkle of it coming back, but to know that he's back for sure, we need to get a break from him in a set, a significant win in a set. And I don't think he's just there just quite yet. I would trust Kecmanovic just a little bit more here. Just a tad bit more. And if I can find it, doesn't seem to be up here just yet. Where is this thing? I guess they're trying to figure out what it's going to be priced. They still haven't put it up on the board yet, but these guys should be playing each other. All right, we can move on. I think Kecmanovic should be the one that ends up winning, but Kovacevic for a set, why not? The American on American soil. I'd rather go that way than have Kecmanovic win. So next we have Gabriel Diallo going against Nisesh Basavareddy. And damn it, man, what is up with this Basavareddy guy and the draws he gets put into, man? It's like he goes against these titans every other match. It is ridiculous. I feel so bad for the guy. It never is the way it's supposed to be. Diallo had to go against Sinner in the third round of Cincinnati. Same with him as well. Had to go against Fritz in the third round in Toronto. Had to go against Schultz in the third round in DC. So both of these guys have kind of been feeling it. they've been going against some of these super hot shots. Whenever Diallo has been losing, it's been to the best people though. So Diallo is definitely the one I would look to win here, but let's be real. Diallo is someone that can compete in a 5-setter with Taylor Fritz in Wimbledon. We know his history on the hard courts. This season, he's 13-11. Basavareddy is 16-9. But even though we haven't gotten a great Diallo this year, we saw him in the third round of the U.S. Open last year, right? We saw him just lose that tiebreak in the fourth set to Tommy Paul. He was about to push it to a fourth, and then he slipped up, and an error snowballed into the match ending. But right before that, he got to the semifinals in the Kerry Challenger and lost to Matteo Bellucci, but went against some decent people: Tristan Boyer, Luca Van Asch, Coleman Wong, Elias Pizzuri, Michizuki. This is all a year ago, mind you. So the form that he had, 30-12 last year on the hard courts, does speak for itself. Now he is already a loss away from that record last year, but still 17 wins away. So it's definitely a dip in performance, but he has been going against tougher seeds more often, so that's kind of what's been going on there. Basavareddy, I think he is just hoping to get a title or get close to one here. And this week, I don't expect him to have expectations to win the U.S. Open this year. I think he may try to go for it, maybe in the first round, maybe qualifying. It's too late to do that, so I think he's probably sitting this one out. He might be going full-fledged forced into this since he's not a main draw in the U.S. Open. So I would expect Basavareddy to really fight for this win. Being as they've never played each other before, and this level, we've seen Basavareddy face this level before. He went 6-3, 6-3 with Zverev. That's pretty impressive. He beat Vukic in straight sets as well in Cincinnati. He's been bageling people since he's come back on the hard courts. He's gotten bageled as well by Walton, but since he got bageled by Walton in Los Cabos, he's been bageling people. 2 bagels so far. So I like the idea of him not winning. I would love for him to win, honestly, but it would be such a toss-up here. Take Diallo for a set. You could take Bassa for a set. It going to a 3-setter would honestly be pretty interesting. I think if it goes to a 3rd set, Basavareddy might win just because Diallo's like, all right, I did enough here. I don't know. He's obviously going to be there to compete, not lose in the first round. He never loses in the first or second round when he gets into a tournament. So it's been some time since he's done that on a hard court. That was back in Indian Wells. But I'm sorry, that was for Basavareddy. But Diallo also, once he gets in, he seemingly is there for at least the first match he gets to that tournament. So Basavareddy did have a good run here. He had three wins, so that does get him somewhere. But I think the road may end with Diallo, unfortunately. Let's move on. Next, we have Mackenzie McDonald going against Luciano Darderi. And I'm hoping this means that we have a healthy Darderi, because he did retire in that last match in Cincinnati against Comasagna, right? So that was a big thing. I think it was the heat. But hopefully, we see a better Darderi this turnaround. The McKenzie and Brandon match, the Holton McDonald, went to 2 tie breaks in the 3rd set as well. That was long, drawn out match. McKenzie did beat Darderi in the past in Acapulco 2 years ago. and then having that tough first round win, I would expect to get a set and the win from McDonald. It's even money, but I don't know why it would be all that. I think McDonald can get a set. He's beaten them in straights 2 years ago. Darderi has been playing better, but we haven't seen it on the hard courts. It's more of a clay guy. 2 back-to-back clay titles, as we saw before. But first match back from there, onto the hard courts, retirement. So, could have been the travel catching up with him. All the playing. The heat adding onto that. It could be a multitude of things. He's 1-6 on the hard court. He was 1-9 last season. McKenzie is 13-9 this season, 18-12 last season. You're doing something a bit risky if you're taking a guy who is 2-15 on the hard courts over the past 2 years to beat a guy who is 31-21. I would go with Mackenzie McDonald here. All right, about halfway through. So next we have Hamad Medjedovic going against Jacob Fearnley. And Fearnley hasn't been looking too good, has he? He retired in South Carolina Challenger against James McCabe. He was up in the first set and then lost the second set and then retired at the beginning of the third set after bageling Quinn van de Castle in the qualification round. And Medjedovic just had a straight set win over Rinderknecht, so he's looking pretty smoky and certified. I don't like betting on people that are coming off of a retirement. And Medjedovic hasn't dropped a set in Cincinnati. I'm not counting him going against Alcaraz, obviously. But Griekspoor and Kovacevic and Rinderknecht so far. He hasn't dropped a set to those guys. I don't think Fearnley in his current form is going to stand much of a chance. I would definitely say that we would get Medjedovic win here. He's minus 210 to win. Certified smoke is plus 120. I like it. I like it. I like it. Been liking what I've been seeing from Medji recently. Solid all-around game. But let's move on to the next one. Next, we have Sebastian Baez going against Pablo Carreno Busta. And boy, is he back? Or is he back? This guy is looking pretty sharp out here. My God. Bageled Nishioka in that first set. 6-3 in the second. Baez lost to Diallo. Pretty close match, honestly. 7-5, 6-4. Diallo. But Baez beat Goffin, right? 6-1, 6-3. So, Pablo Carreno Busta, I think, wins this one as well. He's won every other time he's played him on the indoor hard courts and on the clay. That was 3 years ago, back in 2022, both matches. But Baez has only been able to get a set off this guy, and that was 3 years ago. He is not better on the hard court, nor is he better this year. So I would take Pablo. I would take Pablo here for sure. Baez is still 1-5 this season, with Goffin being his sole win. And then we have Pablo, who is 16-7 this season. So I would say it's safe to say the boy is back. 64% win rate on the hard court, going against a 48% win rate. We don't have to keep going into this. We know what's going to happen here. Pablo for the money line. Minus 215. Not a bad price. Him winning in straights to be probably around the same price as Medjedovic. About plus 120. 2.2 in the decimal. So carrying right along, our next match is going to be match to be wary of. We got Mariano Navone going against Marcus Giron. And these guys have yet to play each other. Maybe that's for the best. I'm sure we'll have an interesting outcome in this one. I am not interested in what it will be. Anyways, Marcus Giron is 10-9 so far this season. Navone is 4-7 on the hard courts. That gives him a around 35% win rate, going 10-18 across his entire career. Giron is 10-9, as I said, this season, but he has a 58% win rate on the hard courts, going 262 and 184. So the sheer experience should scream that Marcus Giron should win this, but how many times has that supposed to have been the case and we don't see it? Now, he's had some tough opponents. Adrian Mannarino, yeah, losing in straight sets to him was definitely the thing that was going to happen. We didn't know that until he beat you, so that's sad. But that dude was in great form. He made it all the way to center, so. You lost to Alexander Blocks in 3 sets in Cincinnati. Not Mannarino. Sorry, that was in Toronto. You lost to Munar and DC in straights. It's just like not promising stuff, man. It's not promising stuff. I would just leave the match alone. I just would leave the match alone. I wish Marcus Giron gets it together in this match. I'm rooting for him. You got to be able to beat Navone. What's he priced at? They don't have a price for this yet, do they? They do not know what the price is match. This is probably going to be even money. I'm calling it now. Let's see if I can find it somewhere else. Maybe I'm not looking everywhere. So, Giron is priced at... Nothing's up yet. All right, we move on. So we have Botic Van de Zandschulp going against Matteo Arnaldi. God, it's such a tongue twister for me. So we got Arnaldi going against Botic Van de Zandschulp. And Arnaldi is the favorite here, funny enough. Minus 135. Let's get a good look at their history. Botic has beaten him 2 times, and then both their head-to-heads in 3 sets. Straight sets in Wimbledon this year in the first round, and 2 years ago in the Davis Cup on the hard courts. They've played 4 tie breaks over the course of 6 sets. Arnaldi has been in tie breaks the past 2 matches he was in, going against Bonzi and losing in the first set. He had a tie break going against Zverev, having a tie break in the first set as well. Botic not so much, but he did beat Bolton in 3 sets, which was quite impressive. Walton did give up a bit, not a bit. He gave up in the 3rd set. He seemed exhausted by the heat, more or less, but won't harp on that too much. It's weird that they have him as a slight favorite, Arnaldi, when he hasn't been able to beat this guy. Could it be the record? He's only 9-9, Arnaldi, this season on the hard courts. Botic is 8-6. He's technically playing better. They only have a 3% difference in their win percentage on the hard courts. 58, 61. 61 being on Arnaldi's side. So I'm not too sure about this one. I would stay away, honestly. I don't really know exactly how this one's going to turn out. I'm sure it's going to be a long-winded match if you want to take over games, because Arnaldi's been playing a lot of long matches. These guys have played long matches against each other, so over total games would be the thing I would touch for that one, I guess. But I couldn't tell you who wins at this point in time. Next, we have a really exciting one I'm going to be looking forward to. Our boy Matteo Bellucci, the lefty, to Gucci, going against Jaume Munar, Our boy, our Spaniard, who's been just getting some bad luck recently. He's been getting beaten down by Cisco's. He got Comasanya, then he got Cerundolo, or other way around. And that has been his fate over the past 2 games on the hard court. Most sets ending in 6-4. Not a single set he's played in his recent losses have ended under 10 games. So, very promising. Good hustle from him. We know that. That's the type of player he is. He's been having a seemingly long break from playing. It's been 10 days since he's had to play, so maybe we may have a high-energy Munar here. Bellucci's been on a tear. Just getting that final off against Shevchenko where he got the early retirement. But beating Comasanya in straight sets. Who saw that coming? I think Bellucci's just when he's in that mode, I think he's activated. I think he's here to play, bro. I think he's here to play. I think for the level he's at, I think he can definitely knock some heads in at the U.S. Open, but I don't know how far he can get. He's only 7-9 this season, but he ended last season going 31-18, all on a challenger level for the most part. But he did make it to the second round from qualies in the U.S. Open, so don't get it twisted. He can get to that check. Bellucci is definitely the lefty that I can trust to get some good work done nowadays. He's a bit more trustworthy from what I've been watching and seeing him play. Been truly liking it. Even though he's 21-24 this season, Munar is also 19-20, 7-7 on the hard court. Bellucci has a 16% win rate over Munar on this surface. Let's see. Let's see what Bellucci is priced at. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. So crazy. I guess we'll have to see. They just really don't know. They're still figuring out what to do with that one. Okay, well, next we have 2 more matches left, I believe. We have Stefano Tsitsipas going against Bu Inchakete. And man, oh man. I just be feeling like Bu's so good, but he just, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's whenever I watch him, I'm like, he can lose this match to whoever he be playing. Like, it's kind of how I feel about Taylor Fritz sometimes, too. Like, Taylor Fritz kind of be, like, giving me feelings that he can lose to people that he shouldn't be losing to in matches. He doesn't do it often. He doesn't lose very often, honestly. But I still feel like that when I watch him play. I don't know what it is. But anyway, Tsitsipas and Bu have yet to play each other. This will be their first head-to-head. Tsitsipas is 10-7 so far on the hard court this season. Bu is 7-11. But his win rate is 5% higher still. He went 40-14 last season on the hard court. It's hard to ignore it. It's a very impressive record. But we just haven't seen that. He beat Singh in 3 sets in the first round of Winston-Salem, as was expected. We were hoping that should have been the case. Lost to Fonseca in the first round in Cincinnati. Went to a 3-setter there as well. Lost to Sonego in straights, but beat Kopcheva in straights. It's just like, what? Beat Goffin. So, I don't know about this one. You guys let me know what you guys will be playing for this one. I'm very interested to see. I will stay away from this just because Bu's been giving me a little bit of I can't really tell how well he is really playing and if he's in a rut or if this is like him actually just playing bad nowadays. Or we can look at Stefanos, who's recently gotten broken up with, or recently broke up with his ex-girlfriend, who is Paula Badosa. I'm pretty sure those two were an item, and now they're not. And I don't know much about the situation, but I do know that Tsitsipas had a practice match against Iga. He lost 7-5 to Iga. And then he also didn't make it too far in Cincinnati, right? He lost to Bonzi in the third round in 3 sets. So right after that, he lost to Iga. And then I found out that Jack Draper is going to be his ex-girlfriend's partner in the mixed doubles tournament. So, this dude's mind might be all over the place. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. His mind just might be in other places outside of tennis because life is happening to him. And I wouldn't put money on someone like that that's going through something, because you don't get mad at someone that you put money on because they're not playing the way you want them to and they're going through something. That's on you. I'm trying to inform you guys now not to do it. So, yeah. Last but not least, we'll go into Lorenzo Sonego going against the super surprising Stefan Dostanic. The young American, 23 years old, clapping back, getting the win on Vukic. 6-4, 6-2. Can't believe he actually did it. Honestly, I'm surprised he did it. Sonego lost in straight sets to Taylor Fritz. But don't get it confused. He does have a 9-9 record this season. Hasn't been playing as much as he usually has been. He's had around 50 matches or so played in a year. He's encroaching around 60 matches played in a year's time. He's around the 47 match mark, so not a lot of matches. He's 9-9 so far this season on the hard courts. But when he loses against top 30 players. But he lost to golf in India. Ooh, excuse me. Jeez. Sorry. He lost to Goffin in straight sets in Indian Wells earlier this year, but we can brush that off. Goffin isn't the same player as he was then. And neither is Sonego. I think he is in way better form since that day, specifically. But he'll be going against a 23-year-old ranked 419, who's 11-7 so far this season. Beaten Vukic, probably his first ever main draw ATP win. Congrats to him for that. Sonego is a top 30 player himself, so I don't really see it going much further than that. I can see Sonego really just clean it up here. But given what we saw in that Vukic match, dude, he broke him 4 times. Vukic had eight aces, and he broke him 4 times. The Vukic serve is not. I wouldn't rank it near the Sonego serve, because Sonego definitely does have a pretty nasty serve. I don't know if this kid has experienced a serve of that quality just yet, but we know that Sonego can fuck up in dire moments. So this kid may take advantage of certain moments like that. Maybe he might be able to cover a spread. Maybe he might be able to take a set. I won't be the one to tell you to do either or. I'm just putting that out there for you. Now, with that being said, that is everything we have. That is the full slate. A bit longer than I needed it to be, but I wanted to be a little bit thorough with you guys, but also a bit brief. Let me know what you guys are playing for tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Wanted to say thanks again to everybody that's been subscribing to the channel. Thank you to those who've been donating as well. I really appreciate that. Trying my best to give you guys the best picks I find and keep us winning. We're on a winning run right now, on a 2-day win streak. So let's keep it going. Love you all, and be well, bet wisely, and Have a great one. Take care.